What's up, everybody? It has been such a long time since I've done a video. What's new? The Z just sold actually 2 days ago. So we're on to something better. Eventually. I ended up trading it for 96 S14 Zenki and some cash on top. So I got some other stuff. A lot's been going on, but we're gonna start a drift build. The crawler, we're gonna be starting a new drift build. It's a pretty simple setup right now. Some modified stuff for you know, a little more angle, welded diff, somewhat of a gutted interior, KA, just a stock KA. I mean, it has like the typical, you know, headers, exhaust, intake, whatever, what have you, coilovers, you know, the simple stuff, some probably lower control arms I think I saw on there. It's a pretty simple setup, but I have a lot planned for it. Right now it's kind of beat. But one cool thing I've been wanting to do, because the headlights are absolute trash on this car. Like, only one of them work, but aside from that fact, like, even the one that does work, it just sucks ass. I can see like 5 feet in front of me. You know, I can see like to that wall. That's pretty much it. So we're going to be trying something different. Whew, I'm out of breath. I actually I went on Amazon and I got some really bright 9-inch light bars. Nothing too crazy because it is going to be the headlight. And I don't want everybody to absolutely hate me on the road. But regardless, you know, 9-inch light bar there, 9-inch light bar there. It's going to be pretty good. The general idea of what I have planned is, sorry to all of you people that are going to get upset about this, but I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to shave part of that in there with the Dremel. That's the plan. Cut a square out and basically mount the light bar somewhere right here. So let's get started. I don't really have much of a game plan. I'm just going to start with the Dremel and start cutting this out a little bit and go from there. Alright, so I did one. I kind of wanted to see how I was going to go about it before I do it on a video, you know. But basically, I cut this whole back piece off. And the idea here is that this is the passenger side, so it's going to be right here on the right side of the car, and I have all this space. There's a good 3-4 inches where I can actually mount the light bar, so that's what I'm hoping for. There's a lot of space here, but I'll basically show you guys how to do it right now. Camera's about to die, so it's kind of hard to film everything. I'm trying to hurry it up without killing the battery. But a couple things to note also, I noticed when you cut the outside edge of all this area, basically Jesus, I'm saying basically a lot. So when you cut the outside of all of this area, you want to make sure you don't ruin the brackets, because you still need the brackets to mount the shell up. And that's kind of the most important part. I'm not separating it. The clips are still holding both pieces together, because as soon as you separate it, the lens won't have a mounting bracket. So we're trying to keep this all in one. We're just shaving a part of it off. And also another thing to note is there are little supports that are on the inside of the headlight. They're, you know, thicker than the Dremel can reach. So unfortunately, you kind of might have to break it off into chunks and get what you can off, so look inside and work around with it. It's pretty straightforward though. Just take your time, don't rush it. You don't want it to look like shit. I don't, at least. I don't know about you. I guess speak for yourself, right? So let's get at it. I'm gonna keep this right here as like a reference.
Ryan Little.
I noticed this part's kind of hard. Where I'm cutting at is just before these two nubs right here, so I'm going past this screw, but just before the nubs, right before the bracket. Keep that in mind. I cut all the way around it. That's the most important thing. Ah, come on. Let's see. The next thing that I did was unscrew all these screws. You know, there's one right here, there's one right here, there's one right here, there's one right here. Once you unscrew them, it's going to separate the actual lens from the casing, and it helps push this whole back piece off of it. It'll make it 100 times easier. You're gonna have to do it either way, but it will make it easier to separate too. Right there. It literally just separated itself on its own. Go through and do them all. Alright. Now that I did that, it should just pop right out. I like how I say pop right out. You gotta work with it a little bit. So this one came out pretty easily. Like I said earlier, there's going to be little supports in there that are thicker than what the Dremel can reach. This is one of them. It's kind of why it's stuck right there. I just, you know, force it. Shit, I don't know. That's what I did. On the other one, it just snapped right off. This one I have to like kind of maybe bring it back in. Barely hanging on. Options. I'll try and get the Dremel in there just a little bit. Should be just enough to snap it right off. Now once you get to this stage, you have the cutout. It's pretty rough, but it is there. You can either take sandpaper or take a razor blade and go flat with it. It will knock off all of these burrs. I would recommend doing sandpaper before that, and this will knock off what the sandpaper has a hard time getting. You know, do what you want. I'm going to do this. I'm going to skip the sandpaper part. I did it on the other one, and it was pretty easily done, but I'm going to try it this way, see if it really makes much of a difference. All of the spaghetti. Now that the light bar, you drill a holy centered.
What?
Lady.
Oh.
Pull out right there. The light bar might be a little bit different. Alright, so it kind of went over, just got everything done. And not too kind of like OE and bright. I like it a lot. It needs to be adjusted a little bit now. It is lock place. The headlight. I'm yet to find it. Searched all over for like an hour. Right before they closed at 9. I was lucky enough I found this perfect size. So picked up the bumpers on. So let's turn this on. Let's see what it looks like. If you can't tell, it doesn't press this, but the thing is, like, going from the 350 brightest HIDs I could to this, it was really bad. Happy medium. I'll link below cars that I got. They were only like bucks, nothing crazy. They're not expensive bank or anything like that. Right? Because, you know, 20. So all together is like 40. If you wanted to fab up a little bracket, better way to come back, I guess. And a little more in depth, but back on track. So I had to take this thing out, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to peace out.